So your assignment for today, you are going to be making your very own 1-point perspective artwork using nothing but lines, ruler, pencil. That's it. If you want to color it later on, you can. But we are going to be making a cityscape. And this is from City View looking up. There's only 3 kinds of lines. That's it. There is a vertical line, which we have right here. There is a horizontal line, which we have right there. And then you have diagonal lines. And all the diagonal lines are going to the center. So it is either perfectly straight up and down, perfectly straight left and right, or it is going to the vanishing point. That's it. That's the only 3 lines you have in this entire artwork. I am going to be cutting to a live demonstration so you can see exactly how to make this artwork, but please keep in mind, you only have 3 lines. That's it. If it is not a perfectly straight up and down line or a vertical line, that's what it's called, or if it is not a horizontal line or a line that is going left to right, it has to go to the vanishing point. You can't just have an odd line going whoop off in nowhere. It doesn't work like that. It always has to go to the vanishing point. All right. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. If you'd like to follow along with our other lessons, go ahead and subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut to the live demonstration. Thank you all very much for watching. In this drawing, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be making a 1-point perspective drawing of a cityscape. And it's very simple to do. Just keep in mind that the only 3 types of lines that you're going to be using in this artwork is a vertical line, which means it's a line that goes up and down, just like this. A horizontal line that goes left to right, as soon as my camera focuses back in. Left to right from here to here. And if it's neither a vertical line or a horizontal line, it's a diagonal line that is always going to go to the vanishing point. And what you are going to need today, you are going to need a straight edge of some kind. A straight edge is simply something that has a straight edge on it. I'm going to be using a ruler. And you're going to need a pencil. If you choose to color your artwork afterwards, you're going to need to have something to color it with, or you're going to need to shade it. Either way, this is how you get started drawing a 1-point perspective cityscape. First thing you need to do is you need to pick where your vanishing point is. So I'm going to pick a point right about here. And it doesn't matter where it is. It can be up here, it can be down here, it can be over here. Typically it's somewhere in the middle of the artwork, but you can have it anywhere. Now once you have your vanishing point there, this is where all of the diagonal lines are going to be going. So if I make a line right here, it's going to go to the vanishing point. Vertical lines are always going to be vertical. They're straight up and down. Horizontal lines are always going to be left to right, straight across. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start drawing the edges of the buildings. And these buildings, we're going to be looking up into the sky. So it doesn't really matter where you draw these. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to draw a line right here. You're going to go from the edge all the way up to the vanishing point. And this is going to be the side of the building that you're looking at. So it's going to be going up. So we have one side done. Now I'm going to decide how wide I want my building to be. And I'm going to draw another line right here. Okay, and that's basically all you need to do for a building. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a couple more in here just so we can use these as examples. And I'm just going to draw some lines. And every one of these is going to be a new building. Okay, so I have all my diagonal lines going to the vanishing point. Now what I need to do is I need to add in horizontal lines. And these horizontal lines are going to be the tops of the buildings. So a horizontal line is straight across. It is not cut diagonally like this. It is a straight line going from left to right. So I'm going to go down through here and I'm going to decide where the tops of my buildings are. So I'm going to say that this one is right here. That's the top of that building. Okay, now I'm going to jump down here and I'm going to put another building top right here. I'm going to put another one here. And then I'm going to start jumping back up here. I'm going to have this one be really tall. It's going to go all the way up there. And then I'm going to have one right here. Now that we have that, all we need to do is erase our lines going to the vanishing point from the top of the buildings. And we are almost done. We have added in the diagonal lines going to the vanishing point. We also have the horizontal lines, which is going to be the tops of the buildings. Now we need to add in the vertical lines. And the vertical lines are going to be the back of the building. And it's very simple to do. Basically, you run your ruler across your artwork like this. And if there is any point that you can actually see, not through the building, but behind the building, like this right here, you can see that if you move a ruler across up, well, you know that there is part of the building right there. Then you're going to draw a line going from that corner down, and that is your vertical line. And if you move over this way, you can see that this line right here is basically in the center, and you can't see that line, so we're not going to draw it. But this one, if you notice, you can see that line. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw this line at that edge of the building. And there we have buildings going up to a vanishing point. And that's as easy as it is. It's very simple to do one-point perspective with this. It is only diagonal lines, vertical lines, or horizontal lines. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in the area up here, and you can watch. And there we have our buildings. Now, if you wanted to add in windows to these, windows is exactly the same way with the horizontal and vertical lines and the diagonal lines. You will need to have all your window panes going to the vanishing point. Otherwise, it's just going to look odd. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in windows to this one right here. That would probably be the easiest one. So I'm going to go ahead and add in windows. So what I'm doing with that, I'm deciding how far apart I want the windows panes to be. So I'm going to put it right about here, and I'm going to draw the line up from the bottom to the vanishing point, but since it's not going to have the window panes going above the building, I'm just going to stop it at the top of the building. And that's it. All you need to do is just line up where you want your window panes to be, kind of eyeball it, and add them in. Now, if you wanted to actually have ledges on the windows, that's going to be a little bit different. You need to find out where your first and second lines are. So what I like to do is start with a horizontal line right here that goes across that section. And then we move on up, and I'm going to place my ruler down here again, and I'm going to draw another horizontal line. And that's all that the window panes are, just horizontal lines. Now, as it gets further away from you, just like up here, they get closer together. So a good method to find out where the next one's going to be is you're going to draw a line from one corner to the center of that, and you're going to connect those together. So just like this. And that is where your next window pane is going to be at. So it is from the corner through the center of your second line, and that leads you to your next window pane. So I'm going to jump over here and I'm going to do the same thing. So from the corner, you're going to eyeball out the center, which is right about there. And then you're going to draw that line going through it. So as you can see, that goes right about there too. Then you line up your ruler and you know that's where the next one's going to be at. If you're a perfectionist and you want to see exactly where the next window row is going to be at, that's what you do. So I'm going to do this again just to show you. You're going to go from the corner through the center of the next line up, and that is going to be where your next window is going to lay. Right there. Okay, and that is how you do window panes going up. Your assignment for today, you're going to be creating your very own cityscape like this. You're going to need a minimum of 10 buildings total. They all cannot be on the same side, so you will need to have some at the top part of the paper and some at the bottom part of the paper. You're going to need to have at least one building that shows windows in it. It will also need to be fully colored or fully shaded. All of your buildings should look like buildings. They don't need to all be completely empty. They need to actually look like they have something going on in it. Windows, doors, shading, don't care, as long as they just look like buildings. Thank you all very much. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, please let me know.